Okay, so good evening, class. Today I'm hoping to complete this company administration, whatever is in your syllabus. I have already covered uh, everything. So today I will try to make this the last class, and I will try to cover the syllabus, whatever is left in your syllabus. Okay, we have done resident director, woman director, we have done independent director, we have done everything. Only the leftover portion is the appointment of key managerial personnel. That's the portion we are left with. Okay, so key managerial personnel. Today we'll talk about appointment of KMP, that is key managerial personnel. Okay, today our target will be to complete this chapter and to complete our syllabus for this term. Let me tell you something. For your internals, since this is probably this will be the last class, I will try to complete today only. Okay, so like in case of internals, whatever I have done, like quorum, like that clear notice how many days notice for board meeting, for general meeting, then quorum, how many members personally present is required, if the number of members present is up to 1,000, then whether the company is what is a company, what is it, whether it's a scientific entity or it's an artificial entity. Questions, very easy questions will come. Whatever I have done in the class, nothing will come other than that. Okay, so all the best for the internals and finals as well. Okay, so let's complete this appointment of KMP. Okay, so appointment of KMP, in section 196 we come to know about the appointment of KMP. So for appointment of KMP, we need to follow section 196 and schedule 5. What? Schedule 5, part 1 of schedule 5. Okay, we'll get part 1 of schedule 5. Okay, so we need to follow section 196 as well as part 1 of schedule 5. If we are not following schedule 5, if by chance we are not following schedule 5, then approval of central government is mandatory. So what? For appointment of KMP, key managerial personnel, we need to follow section 196. Okay, so here it's not appointment of managerial personnel, rather not appointment of KMP, appointment of managerial personnel rather. We need to follow section 196 and schedule 5, part 1 of schedule 5. If we are not following part 1 of schedule 5, we'll take approval of CG. So here section 196 deals with what? Appointment of who? Appointment of managing director, whole time director, manager. So they are the part of KMP, key managerial personnel. Okay, so it is a part of KMP, but section 196 deals with what? Appointment of managerial personnel. So what we will follow for appointment of managerial personnel? Section 196 and part 1 of schedule 5. If we are not following part 1 of schedule 5, then approval of CG is mandatory. For appointment of whom? Managing director or whole time director or manager. So what do section 196 say? Number 1, no company can have the post of MD, means managing director, and manager together. Means either you have a manager for your company or you have a managing director for your company. These two posts simultaneously cannot exist in a company. No company can have the post of MD and manager together. No, either you are having MD or you are having the post of manager. And for appointment of both of this, whatever post you are having, you need to follow section 196 and schedule 5, part 1 of schedule 5. Okay, and if we are not following part 1 of schedule 5, then CG's approval is necessary. Then what? CG's approval is necessary. Okay, number 2. What is number 2? Number 2, section 19. This is the section 196. What the section 196 is saying? So no company, first it is saying that no company can have the post of MD and manager together. Second, what it is saying? That this managing director, whole time director or manager can be appointed for maximum how many years? 5 years. For maximum how many years they could be appointed? 5 years. Reappointment is also possible. If you want to reappoint the same manager or same managing director or same whole-time director, reappointment is also possible. But when 1 year is left, when 1 year is left from the expiry of the tenure, when 1 year is left from the expiry of the tenure, you can reappoint. There is no restrictions. Okay, but when reappointment is possible? Only when 1 year is left from the end of the, means 1 year left from the expiry of the tenure. Suppose appointed for 3 years. Okay, then in the second year, you need to again reappoint the same person, because 1 year is left to complete this 3 years. Clear? So section 196 first says no company can have the post of MD and manager together. Maximum reappointment 5 years. Reappointment possible only when 1 year is left from the expiry of the tenure. Number 3. What is number 3? Minimum years means what will be the age of the person to be appointed as a manager or whole-time director or managing director? 21 years. Minimum age. Maximum must not have attained 70 years, should not have attained 70 years. But if the person at the age of 70 is a dynamic person, okay, still capable of doing works properly, okay, then we can keep this person. We can appoint this person by passing SR in GM. Otherwise, minimum is 21 years and maximum must not have attained 70 years. Must not have attained 70 years. But if you want to appoint a person of 70 years of age, then you can appoint by passing SR in GM. Clear? Number 4. He was neither an undischarged insolvent, means he is not an undischarged insolvent. He is not an undischarged insolvent, or he ever was an undischarged insolvent. এখন তো আনডিসচার্জ ইনসলভেন্ট না, আগেও ছিল না। Neither he is nor he was an undischarged insolvent. Clear? Number 5. If he has been convicted, suppose he has been convicted for an offense involving moral turpitude and had been sentenced for 6 months or more, then he can never become the whole-time director, manager or whatever. Managing director, not whatever, managing director. So if you are punishable with an offense and you have been sentenced for 6 months or more, it's not about the director, huh? It's not about the director. Director, you could become the director, okay? You have read the 6 months provision, remember section 164? But here in this case, you are talking about what? Managing director, manager, whole-time director, the heads of the company, the key managerial person of the company. So if you have been convicted for any offense involving moral turpitude and you have been convicted for 6 months or more, then you can never become managing director, manager or whole-time director. Or number 6. If you have make any composition with the creditor, means if you have not given the money that the creditor, if you have not given the money the adequate, means the total amount that the creditor was going to receive from you, you have not given that amount. You have made certain composition. Okay, you have just made certain composition, paisa maar lena, you have not given the entire amount, made composition with creditor. So if you have done all this, then you are not allowed. This is mentioned in which section? Section 196. What? Number 1, a company cannot have the post of managing director, manager together. Okay, maximum appointment time 5 years. Reappointment 1 year left, only when 1 year is left from the expiry of the tenure. 3, age 21 years. Maximum have not attained 70, but if you want to appoint a person who have attained the age of 70, you need to pass SR in GM. He is not an undischarged insolvent. He was never an undischarged insolvent. If he is, then not allowed. If he has been convicted for 6 months or more for offence involving moral turpitude, then such person can never be a whole-time director or manager or managing director. He must not have made any kind of composition with the creditor, right? So this 6 points are mentioned in which section? Section 196. Then you can ask then, ma'am, what is Schedule 5 saying? Now what is Schedule 5 saying? Let's see what Schedule 5 says. Schedule 5, Part 1, Schedule 5. Schedule 5 says he must be a resident he must be a resident in India. He must be an Indian resident. Number 1 of Schedule 5. Is it visible? Okay. Number 2. That same minimum 21 years, must not have attained 70 years, but if attained, then pass what? SRNGM. Number 3. He has never been sent to imprisonment. He has not been sent to imprisonment ever. Of course, because if he goes to imprisonment once, like for 6 months or more, then he, as per 196, he can never become. So Schedule 5 is saying that he has never been sent to imprisonment. Or he has never given a fine of more than 1,000 rupees. For what? More than 1,000 rupees for any economic offence. Economic offence means what? Any offence like violation of company law, violation of SEBI Act, violation of Customs Act, Income Tax Act, Excise Act. Okay, if he has done any kind of violation, if he has done any kind of what violation? Any kind of economic offence. Economic offence means what? Violation of the acts. If he has done anything and has paid a fine of more than rupees 1,000, more than rupees 1,000, plus no imprisonment, means imprisoned, then he is not capable. So he should not be imprisoned ever, and he should not have paid a fine of more than 1,000 for violation for any kind of economic offence. This is said in what? Schedule 5. Number 4. He has not been found guilty or detained under what? Under conservation of foreign exchange and prevention of smuggling activities act. He has not been found guilty of what? 1974. This is the acts act. What is the act's name? Act is a huge act. What is the name of the act? Conservation of foreign exchange and prevention of smuggling activities act. Conservation of foreign exchange and prevention of smuggling activities act 1974. Conservation of foreign exchange and prevention of smuggling activities act 1974. He has not been found guilty of this act. Here means if he has violated this act any time, he is not capable of becoming a manager or a managing director or a whole-time director. Clear? So this 4th thing is said in Schedule 5. What? Number 1, resident. He must be a resident in India. Minimum 21 years age. Maximum must not have attained 70. But if he is a person of dynamic personality, means 70 dynamic person, then you can appoint the dynamic person by passing SRNGM. He has not been imprisoned ever or paid a fine exceeding rupees 1,000 for economic offence. Economic offence means what? Violation of Companies Act, SEBI Act, SICRA Act, several acts. Okay, Income Tax Act. He has not been found what? Guilty or has been detained under which act? Conservation of Foreign Exchange and Smuggling Activities Act 1974. This is said in Schedule 5. So Section 196 and Schedule 5 both you have to follow while appointment of whom? Managerial personnel. Who is a managerial personnel? Personnel, whole-time director, managing director or manager. Because we cannot have the post of managing director or manager together. Correct? Section 196 gives 6 conditions and where Schedule 5 gives 4 conditions. What are the 6 conditions of Section 196? First, though, that 2 position cannot simultaneously exist of manager and managing director. Next, the appointment, maximum 5, reappointment 1 year left from the expiry of the tenure. 3, 21 and 70. Next, number 4 is an undischarged insolvent. He is not an undischarged insolvent. He was never an undischarged insolvent. He has never been imprisoned for 6 months or more for offence involving moral turpitude. He has not made any composition with creditors. Done. Easy. Section 196 and Schedule 5. Okay. Now for appointment, what we need to pass? Let's see. Okay. So first is conditional appointment. First comes what? First conditional appointment. How to appoint? We need to pass resolution, right? Conditional appointment by passing BR at BM. Then we finalize this appointment by passing OR in GM by shareholders. Okay, by shareholders. Shareholders will pass this. And we have to keep in mind that what Schedule 5 is followed. If Schedule 5 not followed, then what? Approval of CG. So Section 196 plus Schedule 5. If not followed Schedule 5, then CG's approval. CG's approval. So first is what appointment? First conditional appointment by passing BR at BM. Then finalize appointment by passing OR in GM by shareholders. Clear? Is it clear? Okay, within 60 days of finalized appointment, once this OR in GM is passed, then within 60 days, once OR in GM is passed, within 60 days of finalized appointment, inform whom? Whenever we appoint anyone, to whom we inform? Registrar. We will inform ROC, Registrar of Companies, inform number MR1. So first, how to appoint? First, we have to pass for appointing managerial personnel. First, what you have to pass? Just say. First appointment is what? Conditional. BR at BM. Then we will finalize the appointment by passing OR in GM by shareholders. Once this finalized appointment is done, we need to inform whom? ROC. Within how many days? Here, within 60 days. Inform number what? MR1. Clear? Is it clear? So this one was one of the section that is in your syllabus. Next section. I think it's clear. It's very easy. Section 1. To appoint managerial personnel. Who are the persons included in this managerial personnel? Managing director or manager and whole-time director. What you have to follow? Section 196 and Schedule 5. If Schedule 5 not followed, then CG's approval. 4 condition under Schedule 5 and 6 condition under Section 196. First, we have to do conditional appointment, BR at BM. Then we have to do what? Finalized appointment, OR in GM. Done. Within 60 days of finalized appointment. Within 60 days of finalized appointment, that is within 60 days of passing OR in GM, we have to inform whom? ROC. Inform number MR1. Is it clear? Is it clear, students? Okay, now we'll talk about KMP. Okay, who are the key managerial personnel? We have got to know that who are the key manager KMP. This is the section 203. Okay, 203. So, KMP means, first we know either it's managing director, KMP number 1, managing director or manager, or whole-time director, or CEO, Chief Executive Officer, plus CFO, Chief Financial Officer, plus CS. So who are the KMPs? Manager, managing director, whole-time director, CEO, any one of them. Plus we need a CFO plus a CS. Means CFO and CS is mandatory along with them. Any of them you can keep. Clear? So appointment of them, for appointing them we know we need to follow section 196 plus schedule 5 or CG's approval. But for them what we need to follow for appointing a CFO and CS, Chief Financial Officer and Company Secretary, what? Just BR at BM. For this portion এতক্ষণ আমরা পড়লাম, for appointment of this manager we have read. We studied just now, section 196. Then for appointing CFO and CS, what? BR at BM. Board resolution and board meeting. Is it clear? Now here this section 203 says that for which company appointing KMP is mandatory. For which company appointing KMP is mandatory. Okay, now see, for a listed company, number 1. Number 2, unlisted public company having minimum paid up share capital of rupees 10 crore. So for which two companies appointment of KMP is mandatory? Listed company, unlisted public company having minimum paid up share capital of 10 crore. Clear? Okay. Now you can ask me then, ma'am, what about private company? Yes, private company, if they want, they can keep managing director, they can appoint manager, they can keep whole time director, but they have to follow that section 196 and schedule 5. Clear? But mandatorily for which two companies this KMP is necessary? Now who comprises KMP? Manager, either managing director or whole time or CEO, plus CFO is mandatory, plus CS. For appointing CFO and CS, we need to pass BR at BM, and for this, then we know section 196. For mandatorily, this section is applicable for which company? Listed, unlisted public company having a paid up share capital of minimum 10 crore. However, there is another notification given. What? Any company, any other company, whether it's public or private, if their minimum paid up share capital is 5 crore, then they must compulsorily appoint a whole time CS. A whole time CS is mandatory for any company, whether it's public or private. If the paid up share capital is 5 crore of that company, a whole time CS is mandatory. By passing what? CS. For appointing CS, what we need to pass? BR at BM. Okay, you have attended the seminar now of the CS. See your position. See where you will get appointed. See, any company which is having a paid up share capital of what? 5 crore needs a whole time CS, and it's mandatory whether it's a private company or a public company. By passing what? They need to appoint BR at BM. So clear? So let me just again say. So section 203 deals with what? KMP. KMP includes who? CFO and CS compulsory, and either manager or managing director or whole time director or CEO or manager, managing director, whole time director or CEO. Okay. For appointment of manager, managing director or whole time director or CEO, we need to follow section 196 schedule 5 or approval of CG. For appointment of CFO and CS, we need what? BR at BM. Okay, for which company this KMP appointment is mandatory? For listed company and what? Unlisted public company having a paid up share capital of 10 crore. Okay, next, for which company appointment of CS is mandatory? For any other company, whether it's a private or public company, if its paid up share capital is 5 crore, mandatorily should appoint a CS. Now, what does a CS does? Secretarial audit, checks the compliance. Clear? So this was left. KMP. Okay, the definition of KMP, just for your MCQ portion, the definition of KMP is given in section 251. Okay, 251. This is for your MCQ, 251. So we read section 196, we read section 203 and 251. The KMP's definition is given. Is it clear? Okay, the last portion that I will do for today, the last portion is the power of the board. Okay, wait. Oh, just a second. Okay. Power of the board. This is the last part I will do for today, and it's the most easy part. Power of the board. The board has all such powers. This is section 179. What is the power of the board? You will check the syllabus. Everything is complete other than this. Okay. And today we are completing. Okay, what is section 179? It talks about the power of the board. So what is the power of the board? Power of the board, whatever the company has power, all such powers is applicable to the board, subject to MOA and AOA. Means the board have all such powers and can do all such acts as the company is authorized to exercise and do, subject to all the provisions of MOA and AOA. जो कंपनी का पावर है वही बोर्ड का पावर है, बट वी नीड टू फॉलो द रेस्ट्रिक्शंस as given in MOA and AOA. So what will be the powers? Powers of the board: to make calls, to authorize buyback, এগুলো আর কি পড়বি, to make calls, to authorize buyback of shares. Board is having all the power. Then to borrow money, to invest money, to grant loan, everything. For to discuss about amalgamation, merger, reconstruction, to approve financial statement. These are the powers of the board, right? These are the powers of the board. Okay, but we will talk about 3 matters which are mandatory, means for 3 matters where passing board resolution is mandatory. What? For making political contribution. If you are donating, means if you are making any contribution to any political party, we need BR. Resolution in board meeting is, means we need a resolution if we are making any political contribution. If we want to appoint or remove any KMP, because it's a crucial matter that we are removing a KMP. KMP means who? Either we are removing a manager or we are removing a CFO or a CS. So we need resolution. And to appoint internal auditor and secretarial auditor. Secretarial auditor, of course, CS. And we know that for appointment of CS, BR at BM is necessary. So for these 3 matters, what we need to pass resolution? What? For making political contribution, to remove a KMP, or to appoint internal auditor and secretarial auditor. 3 matters where board resolution is necessary. There are certain matters which could be delegated, means board can delegate its power, means it's my power but I am delegating it to someone else. To whom we can delegate? We can delegate to managing director. We can delegate the power to whom? Any principal officer of the company. We can delegate the power to committee of directors. We can delegate it to manager. We can delegate it to principal. This pen is very disturbing. Principal officer of any branch office. So for 3 matters, board resolution require making political contribution, to remove KMP, to appoint internal auditor and secretarial auditor. Okay, for certain matters the board can delegate, means the board will not handle. On behalf of the board, some other person will handle. So to whom delegation is possible? To managing director or manager, to principal officer of the company, any principal officer, to committee of directors, a certain committee of directors, or to any principal officer of any branch office. So what are the matters that could be delegated? There are 4 powers that could be delegated by passing BR at BM. Means before delegation also we need to pass BR at BM. Means because it was my work but I am delegating. Suppose suppose I couldn't complete this chapter. Suppose, but today I will complete. Okay, Papa, don't say that I have not completed my syllabus. Suppose if I couldn't complete this chapter, I could give this chapter to some other teacher. I could delegate it was my duty to complete, but I am delegating it to some other teacher. But before that, I need the permission of whom? Our HOD, means head of the department. Correct? So similarly, before delegating any power, BR at BM is very much necessary. So 4 powers that could be delegated. What are the 4 powers? To borrow money, to invest any fund, to grant loan, to provide any guarantee or security in respect of loan. So what are the 4 matters that a board can delegate? To whom? To managing director, manager, principal officer of branch office, or principal officer of the company or committee of directors. 4 matters could be delegated by passing what? BR at BM. What are the 4 matters? To borrow money, to invest fund, to provide guarantee or security in respect of loan, to grant loan. These are the 4 matters: borrow money, invest fund, grant loan, provide guarantee or security in respect of loan. And what are the 3 matters for which passing is mandatory, means board resolution passing is mandatory? Making political contribution, appointment of internal auditor and secretarial auditor, removal of KMP. Okay. So this was left and we have completed this chapter today. Company administration, we have done everything: qualification, disqualification, we have done DIN, we have done who is a resident director, we have done additional director, we have done all directors. We have completed everything. Proportional representation, we have completed. Small shareholder director, everything. Today we completed KMP to section 206, section 196. So the definition is given in what? 251, and section 170 deals with what? Powers of the board. Right? So if you're having any other issues, then you can contact me, and I will provide you with the MCQs as usual. Okay, so this is my last class. For internals, just prepare whatever I've done in the class. It will be enough, more than enough, and I think you will score 10 upon 10. I guess yes, it's for 10 marks, 10 upon 10. Okay, so just study now. All the best for your exams, for your internals, and for your finals. Thank you. See you all in the next term again. Take care.